Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mr. Teacups, and guess what? Today we are going to be positive. I know, gasp, shock, and horror. Mr. Teacups being positive for once, all he fucking does is bitch. I know, right? Well, I haven't really got a reason to bitch today because we're just going to be talking about something that personally happened yesterday. If you can tell from the title, I finally graduated, so I want to do this commentary more as a like a memorial piece, yeah, like a time capsule piece, just talking about something that happened in my life. Because this is a pretty big event, graduating is a pretty big event. I finally did. I finally finished university. It's finally over and done with. It's putting like the seal on the envelope or the seal on that expensive piece of paper I got. It was a very surreal experience, and you know what we're going to talk about. And this is with graduating and stuff. It's not really a. It's not really something we're used to in the UK. Like I know in America you graduate high school and stuff like that. In the UK, if you finish sixth form in college, you don't really have a graduation. Well, we didn't. We didn't have a graduation or anything like that when I finished sixth form and that. So graduating university, the big one. Obviously, I did fuck up my degree before, so I'm a little bit late with finishing university, a little bit late with graduating, but I finally did it, and it was something that I never really thought was going to happen. It never really. I don't know. It was just so weird being there yesterday. So obviously, yesterday in the UK was the 25th of July. So far, that was the hottest day of the year. And this is the thing with the UK people: we can't handle the weather change. We can't. We just can't handle the weather change. It was fucking boiling yesterday. And this is the thing: I don't mind the warm weather. I don't mind the warm weather, right? But if I'm wearing like a suit or anything like that, I hate, like those suit like shirts you have to wear to school, like stuff like that. I'd wear one of those. I've always hated wearing those in like the heat and stuff like that. It's just disgusting. And obviously suit trousers as well. Oh, it was absolutely horrible. Then wearing that cap and gown, it was fucking boiling. But luckily, the cathedral we went to for the graduation was. It wasn't really air conditioned, but well, I think it was air conditioned to an extent. It wasn't that hot in there, but it was still pretty hot. And as the like ceremony went on, oh boy, it started boiling. I think a lot of people we didn't want to be there. Like I think like I wanted to be there because graduation that, but just because it was so hot, I just wanted it to be over and done with. I just wanted to be over and done with as soon just as quick as it could be. Like that was the thing. Like I was one of the last ones to go up. I think I was the third last row to go up. And this is the funny thing as well. Like in my whole year group in this university to graduate, we were the last ones on the last day on the last time slot. So I guess you say they saved the best for last, but I don't think they did. I think they put the retards at the end. No, I'm kidding, but it was a long ceremony. We had to get there early. I think the ceremony started at 5. I got there at 3. It took like 2 hours to get the tickets, get my gown, take photos and stuff like that. Then the ceremony began, and I think that lasted a good 2 hours and something like that. So it was a whole 4-hour day, and that heat was it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. But as I said, though, it was a really weird experience because I didn't really feel like I was a part of the university I just graduated from because I was only here for a year. As I said, I only did the third year. So I think I said this before in previous commentaries and that, like, I didn't really have a chance to make many friends because most people make their friendships in the first years and stuff like that. So, well, that's the thing. Most of the friends I made in my third year, I think I said before, most of them failed or they just didn't get around to finishing it for some other reason, stuff like that. So there's really only one guy I knew, and I was actually surprisingly sitting next to him on the stage, and I was like, "Oh hey man, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh hey man, how you doing?" Stuff like that. Just a little bit of idle chit chat. But other than that, I felt like a loner, man. Like I straight felt like a loner. I was just like, obviously other people like having pictures out together with their friend groups, and that's like. Man, I ain't really got a friend group, I'm here on my ones, taking a picture of my family and stuff like that. It's like she felt really weird. Like I felt a little bit isolated, but that's no fault of university. That's just a situation I was in. It's just stuff like that coming into the third year and that. But yeah, once the ceremony was over, we went into like a little marquee. Like I was starving. Like this is a stupid thing as well. Like yesterday, I woke up. I didn't have any food before the ceremony because I didn't think it was going to take that long. And I thought I was going to get a bite to eat beforehand, but I didn't get around to it. So I didn't eat anything at all during the whole of the day. Like we went for a meal after to celebrate the graduation, but I was like whispering when that advert was like that Snickers bar. It's like, oh, you're not yourself when you get when you're hungry and stuff like that. I'm not. I'm a little bitch when I'm hungry. Like I get really agitated. I get really angry quite easy. Obviously because of the hot like the weather and shit yesterday. Oh man, Mr. Teacups, you said you were gonna bitch this commentary. No, I'm just talking about the situation. Like, I'm not bitching myself and just telling how it was. Like, I was really quite irritated and stuff like that. I was like, oh man, it's fucking hot. I'm starving. And when we got into the marquee, they weren't serving any food. They were just serving like prosecco. It's like I'm not some 40-year-old housewife. I do not drink prosecco. I don't drink alcohol. I just don't. So I was like, oh shit, give me the food. So literally, I was like looking around. I was like, I don't know anybody in here. What's the point of me like standing around celebrating? So I actually saw my dissertation to for like 2 seconds. It's really weird because he said he wasn't going to be turning up, and he's like turned up. I was like, oh hey, you said you were going to turn up. He's like, oh yeah, yeah, and we just talked for like 2 seconds. And it was over. I was like, okay, see you, bye. And then I ended up buying like a like a year like hoodie and stuff like that with all the names on it, stuff like that. I thought that'd be cool, like a little like memento. But other than that, there was no real reason for me to stick around in that. So I put my hat and gown away and just out the door, and suddenly it's all over. It was really like, even though the whole ceremony went bare long, the second it was over, I was just gone and just out there. My family and now we went and got something to eat. And yeah, that was it. Finally graduated university. You know, it finally happened. Feels like it's over. Yeah, as I said, like I finished all my shit in May, and I finally finished it now. Like the ceremony's only. I'm finally a graduate and stuff like that. It's really weird. Like as I said, I don't really know where I'm going forward. I haven't really been able to get a job at the moment. I'm just waiting for Amazon to get back to me so I could be a slave labor. But yeah, it's really, I don't know, like, like on the ceremony and stuff like that, they're like bigging us up, like, oh yeah, we're gonna change the future, we're gonna go on and do this and that. You know, your education here has granted you pathways going forward and stuff like that. I'm like, bruh, I can't get a fucking retail job. And I got a degree. Oh man, I had to laugh at that when they were saying stuff like that. But obviously, some people aren't doing well. Like I was listening to some conversations now, some people in full-time work, trying their own businesses and stuff like that. But yeah, it was quite fun. Obviously, in the ceremony and that as well, you had to go up on stage and stuff. That one was actually live streamed. Maybe I might get the VOD up in the background if I can. I was actually bare nervous going up. I was like, don't fuck this up, don't fall over, don't trip, don't accidentally dab or something. But literally, you just went up on stage. That's the thing. I was expecting like a piece of paper handover, but the way I wanted it, like we put our hands together, and like the dean or whatever they were called, I can't remember the name. It's like really a high up person. They put their hands over your hands and congratulate you, kind of like a priest. I was like, oh man. I was like, okay, this is a bit lazy. Where's my piece of paper? But I don't know. It was a really like I don't know. It's like really. The ceremony just felt a little bit pointless. And also, I like how they bailed out everybody's life. So if you got a first, they put you down as first class honors. So say if it's like, oh, Terry, and they say my full name, like, oh, Terry Mills, first class honors or something like that. I didn't get first class. I got fucking 2-1. But like they bailed out your life and stuff like that. So like if somebody before you had a first class and then your name was called after, it's like, oh, so like John Smith, first class. It's like, oh, Fred Bloggs. That's it. They just say Fred Bloggs. It's just like, woo, that's kind of a hard act to follow. You know what I'm saying? I kind of didn't really like that. Obviously, it's really congratulatory to get a first class in that, but I thought that was a bit mean because like you could like this thing they had the book we had for the graduation ceremonies. It had everybody's name and what like not what grade they got, basically just if they got like a first class or anything like that. And you could somewhat tell the easier degrees, like most like the technology and sciences and that there weren't that many first class, especially on my group. There was only two firsts. There was like I think we had like 40 people, something like that. From my like I had a bachelor's of science in like information technology. Only two people got first, and like as I said beforehand, I worked my ass off, and I don't even know how I could have got first. So these guys must have just gone above and beyond. I was like, Jesus Christ, that's absolutely crazy. So we only got like two firsts in our little group and that. But then you look at some like the business studies units and that. I saw one business studies unit, and they had like I think about 50 people in it. I'm not gonna lie, about 35 of them had first, and I was just like, wait, really? I was just like, I'm not like, I don't want to say a degree is easy, but there's a little bit of a skewed results there. Like, if you didn't get a first now, you probably felt a little bit bad about yourself. The fact that, you know, if you're one of those 15 and 35 other people, like, you're below average in that class, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like a little bit crazy, but other than that, it's over. Yeah, it's over. There's not much really to talk about. I don't really want to carry on with my education, as I said before. I don't really want to do a master's, anything like that. Trying to program, trying to find a job. I talked about Twitch in my last commentary, stuff like that. Yeah. I tried to keep this commentary a little bit positive. Yeah, a little bit positive. I just wanted to just throw it out there for something for me to look back on because I probably will forget this. No, I won't forget this day. It was a fun little day. But yeah, other than that, if anybody else has graduated this time, how'd it go for you? And I've been Mr. Teacups. Hope you rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.